name is Normashitah Binti Kamal Mohd, and today I will be presenting on a very relevant and important topic in our society, which is discrimination in Malaysia. So, in this part, we will explore about the background of this issue, its root causes, relevant law, real-life example, and impact on organization and employee, and finally, the preventative measure we can take. So, firstly, we can go to our issue, background, and causes. As you can see, the issue of discrimination in Malaysia is not new. It began after independence, primarily fueled by racial politics among political parties. So, over the years, the discrimination has manifested in various critical areas such as employment opportunities, access to education, and everyday social interaction. Malaysia is a multicultural country, but it still faces discrimination based on race, religion, age, gender, and cultural background. So, what are root causes? Firstly, prejudice and stereotypes, where individuals hold biased views against certain races, genders, and backgrounds. Secondly, deep-rooted cultural and social norms passed down through generation, which sometimes prioritize certain groups over actual merit and quality. And despite the legal foundations for equality, which I will discuss next, discrimination continues to persist in our society. So next is law and policies. So as you can see, Malaysia does have legal frameworks in place to combat discrimination. The most significant provisions are found in our federal constitution. Okay, so next, based on Article 2, Federal Constitution 1957, explicitly prohibits discrimination against citizens in public office appointments and law enforcement. Furthermore, the Industrial Relations Act 1967 prohibits employers from discrimination in recruitment, promotion, and terms of employment. These laws are designed to ensure equality and fairness for every citizen. However, the extent of law alone is not enough if they are not effectively enforced and embraced by society. Second, we move to the next slide, which is real-life examples of racial tension and discrimination in Malaysia. To make you guys understand about the gravity of this issue, let's look at some real-life context. So first, the most tragic example is in the 13 May 1969, which is Racial Riots, a dark chapter in our history. The clashes between Malays and Chinese result in significant loss of life and properties. These tragedies starkly show the devastating consequence of unchecked discrimination and harmful stereotypes. After that, another ongoing example is in educational division along linguistic line. We have Malay predominantly in national schools, Chinese students in SJK school, and Indian students in vernacular Tamil school. While the right to mother tongue education is important, this separation from a young age can contribute to a social gap and lack of understanding between races in Malaysia. So, in short, discrimination means unfair treatment of a person or group of people because of differences such as race, religion, gender, age, or social status. For example, When someone is not hired for a job simply because of their skin color or religious belief, this is a form of discrimination. Okay, next, we move to the next slide, which is impacts on organization and employee. Discrimination has severe consequences, especially in the workplace. For organization, it leads to a toxic work culture, a decline in company's reputation, and the risk of legal action. For employees, the effects are just as damaging. It affects mental health and well-being, lead to the decreased productivity and increased absenteeism, and increased employee turnover rate, and ultimately result in a high employee turnover rate, which is costly for any business. A discriminatory environment is a losing situation for everyone involved. So next is preventative measure. So what we can do to prevent this? First, organization must take a lead by creating safe and confident channel for reporting discrimination. Second one, fostering a corporate culture built on respect and cooperation. And third one is organizing self-improvement and sensitivity training for all staff. And the last one is advocating for stronger enforcement of existing laws. So, in our last part is conclusion. In conclusion, the issue of this discrimination can severely disrupt workplace harmony, damage employee mental health, and hinder overall company performance. However, through a combination of strong law enforcement, fair company policies, and early education that foster mutual respect, we can prevent this from happening. It starts with each of us making a conscious effort to be more understanding and inclusive. And thank you for your time and attention, guys. Thank you.